What's up guys? It's your boy Damnboy, back with another video. Today I want to talk about world buffs and the hotfixes Blizzard made last week, the 4th and 5th of June. I also want to talk about the changes that are coming to Warcraft logs and what effect this might have on our parsers. If you have any questions or the like after watching this video, make sure to stop by my stream on Twitch. I stream Wednesday, Thursday and Sunday from 7 PM to 11 PM. I'm always happy to chat. Let's start with the hotfixes and take it one by one. When you're using advanced combat login, the presence of various world buffs, such as Rallying Cry of the Dragonslayer, will now be consistently recorded when starting a raid encounter. What this means is that Warcraft logs will now be able to show in the logs if you've been using world buffs. What it also means is that Warcraft logs are considering to make a new segment on their website, like they have the with trash skips or without trash skips. They're gonna make a new segment called No World Buffs Allowed, which will make it really interesting. As of the 6th of June, Warcraft logs have decided to make polls on their website so they can get the community response on certain things they want to implement on their website. One of the first polls they've decided to make is this one. Should a no world buffs allowed rankings category be created on the site, similar to the with skips category, which we talked about before? In this vote they had 14,000 votes almost, and 73% voted they would like this category to be added. Personally, I would love this to happen. This would give you a, what should we say, a try hard kind of look at things, where you get the world buffs for all the big speedrunners out there, and you would have a category for the more casual guilds that don't want to use around 2 hours before every raid to get all these buffs. And personally, in my guild, we are struggling a little bit with this horde dispellers, wasting a lot of time on getting these buffs, all having all those warlock level 20 summons and stuff like that. And then another thing would be you would actually experience the game like it was back in the days, because back in the days nobody used world buffs like we do now. Like now everybody uses all the world buffs if they really want to try hard, you know. But going back to the old school way would be nice, because you would get a different feel for the game. You wouldn't just blast the boss down in 30 seconds. It would probably take twice the amount, if not more. And people would actually have to play better. And as a warrior as well, you would have to, you couldn't just, you know, keep heroic strike queued constantly. You would actually have to cancel the cast sometimes, because your rage gain will be so much smaller than it usually is, right? Anyway, I hope this new category gets implemented so we can raid hassle-free without having the need to get world buffs. It will be a nice change of air to try this the normal way like we did back in the day. Moving on to the next poll, Warcraft logs also asked which category should be the default view shown on global rankings pages, character rankings pages and guilds ranking pages. 12,600 people voted approximately. 65% voted that they would like the world buffs category to be the default. So sadly, people still want the old way, but personally it doesn't really matter that much which one is default, in my opinion. People can play the game the way they want to, and that is the great thing about this. That's what I like about it. So the casuals can play without the no world buffs, and the even more hardcore people that want to speedrun and do it the fastest way possible can do it like that. But you can also look at it in a different way, that the speedrunners actually get the possibility to speedrun with world buffs, and now they can do it without world buffs and get rankings on both sides. So it's gonna be interesting what'll happen, and I think it's gonna be a very nice change of pace for the game, and it will definitely have an impact on how people are gonna play. I also believe that the casual gamers, the ones that don't have time for all these world buffs, will get an incentive to actually start parsing once this releases. if they release it on the Warcraft logs page, because the people that don't have these 2 hours before every raid to get all these buffs, get all the consumables, will actually have a chance to parse now, but in a different section, of course. Warcraft Logs also posted another poll asking, should AQ40 complete raid rankings and speedruns include the optional bosses, Bug Trio, Uro, and Visitors? So far in CG, we've had optional bosses. These have not been included in the speedruns as far as I know. 72% voted that the optional should be included. Me, myself, voted the same. I would like to see a full speedrun include every boss in the raid. In my opinion, that makes most sense. Whether it matters or not really, because everybody's going to do the same speedrun, right? The same rules apply to every speedrun they do. So in the end, it doesn't really matter, but I think that every boss should be included in a speedrun, for sure. So Warcraft Logs has made some new polls since the last ones we showed you before. The first one being, Blackwing Lair currently has a rule in place to try to prevent logout runs, where players log off and wait for cooldowns. This rule limits the uses of Death Wish, Diamond Flask, and Adrenaline Rush based off total boss kill time. Would you like to see this rule expanded upon to add more cooldowns, or would you like the rule to be removed? Personally, I'm very happy that Warcraft Logs are taking these initiatives to help prevent these sort of insane inflated logs. And this helps the average guy, so they actually have a chance to reach these 99 parses and so forth. So all in all, a very good initiative from Warcraft Logs, preventing these inflated numbers when people do these logout runs. So the next question they ask is, complete raids currently rank DPS as total damage done on boss fights divided by the total time consumed by these boss fights. There are 2 other possibilities for ranking complete raids. The first is to rank total damage done on boss fights divided by the entire raid time. And the second is the possibility to rank damage done on boss fights and trash fights and divide by the entire raid time. So personally, I like the way they're doing it right now. You take the total damage done on bosses and divide it by the total time consumed on boss fights. But I would like the other option as well, where you can include trash fights and take the entire time spent in the raid. This would mean, though, for everybody, that everybody would have to stay focused on trash as well, because they would have to go for maximizing their DPS on trash as well. So personally, this is the one I vote for. This would probably help raids in general as well, because people would be focused 100% of the time till the raid was done, because every mob, every kill in the instance would matter. So that would give people more incentive to focus at all times, not just on the bosses. The next question is, should the bone constructs on the Nefarian fight be removed from complete raid DPS rankings and from the Nefarian DPS rankings? So they've done this on Razorgore. On Razorgore in the start, they had all the mobs that you killed included in the parse. But then after a few weeks, they changed it so only Razorgore matters. Now that they've already done this, I think that it should apply to all fights in the instance. So of course they should remove the bone constructs on the Nefarian fight as well. This would of course change people's focus on only Nefarian, but then again, usually the mages just handle Nefarian ads. But this would mean that separating the ads wouldn't matter, only at DPS to Nefarian. So whether they changed this or not doesn't really matter. You just need to know if they actually changed it, because that would change your DPS output. Because if you go running for the mobs and they don't count, it's kind of, it has no value to you. So the last question they're asking is basically a follow-up to the Nefarian ads. In order to remove Nefarian ads, the only viable solution is to switch the default view from damage to bosses. However, due to some bugs in the historical record for this metric, we would also have to hide the first 2 weeks of Blackwing Lair DPS parses from character ranking pages and guild ranking pages. Would this be an acceptable trade-off to get rid of the Nefarian ads? Note, you can still switch your view back to damage and include the Nef ads again. So what they're saying is that they have to remove the 2 first weeks of parsers from Blackwing Layer in order to fix this with the ads. That's probably why they did it so quick with Razorcore, because otherwise it would be messy like it is now for Nefarian. Personally, I don't mind. My parsers have greatly increased since I did my first 2 weeks of Blackwing Layer. Will it matter to you? I think not. Like, you've gotten better gear since the first 2 weeks of Blackwing Layer, so it shouldn't really matter in the end, right? Anyway, that concludes this video. Let me know down in the comment section below what you're going to be playing. Are you going to be playing with world buffs or without? What do you think about the changes? If you want to chat even further with me, come join my Twitch stream. I stream Wednesday, Thursday and Sunday from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. in European time. If you liked the video, make sure to hit that sub button down below, throw it a like, it would be greatly appreciated. Damnboy's out for now. I hope you have a damn great day till we see each other next time.